it was Easter morning this year. And I have to say, Easter this year kind of snuck up on me. Like the whole traditional Easter thing with the Jesus died upon the cross to save us from our sins and that he has risen, like that whole thing. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. And so this year I had kind of like braced myself against it to the point that I really hadn't clocked what weekend or what day like was Easter. So this particular morning I got up and I was feeling good and, just really needing to get out and go do hikes and be outdoors and all that kind of thing. So gathered up me and Peanut and a little bit of gear and got in the car and drove out to one of our favorite ridgeline walks. And at that point, like, I knew it was Easter. Like at that point in the morning, I was like, it's Easter and let's go ahead and take our hike. But again, still not plugged into the holiday per se, but just plugged into this very beautiful spring Sunday morning that I could go enjoy a hike with my dog. So me and Peanut, we tool out to the trailhead, and you got to know this place where we're hiking. So this is Eastern Washington. And Eastern Washington, it's like deep valleys, real like monstrously high ridges that are almost like mountains, but not quite. And it's ancient land. It's like this is heavily glaciated land. Like you can just see where the glaciers came through and moved that earth and made the valleys and made the ridges. And then you got the volcanoes. You got the volcanoes all the way around. And me being from Colorado, like I'm a mountain girl. And so, looking at Pacific Crest and all of that, I think mountains, but then I have to re-register and go, no, Dana, Mount Rainier, that's a volcano, and there's another volcano over there, and there's other, like, we're in volcano country, and you can see it in the ground, like the volcanic rock that is scattered here and there, and the stories of all the ash that fell here where I'm living at when Mount St. Helens blew, which was, just a stone's throw over there. So when Peanut and I get out to hike these ridges, I'm feeling the ancient energy and the glacial movement and the volcanoes. Like it's such a rich place to hike, and it is so different than anything I hiked in with Colorado, right? So we're out there, me and Peanut, we are out there headed up hoofing it up to part of the ridge, and then we can kind of meander off into the scrub brush, and we're enjoying that before the rattlesnakes come out, because like by the time we get to the end of May, you don't dare hike up there. Like I tried hiking up there like not long after Memorial Day last year, and I got up on the trail, and Spirit Team was like, go back, and I'm like, no, and they're like, go back, and like we got up to the top of the ridge, and then we had to negotiate our way back around about half a dozen rattlers. So lesson learned. Like it is big rattlesnake country up on those ridge lines after May 31st. Anyway, so it's Easter. Me and Peanut, we are out there hiking and enjoying, and I've cut off the main trail off to a side trail, and we're just in the grass and the sage and the desert flowers, the arid desert flowers, they're coming up, and the meadowlarks and the birds. And it was just one of those moments of just being lifted and airy and up on this powerful ridge, looking at all the other ridges and the volcanoes off in the distance, and just feeling that. And this echo of, the patriarchal crucifixion style religion. It would just kind of echo in a little bit and echo out. And I kept having these thoughts of like, what a horrid thing to do to children, right? Because I remember when I was a little kid growing up in the Methodist church and going to some other churches and seeing this like naked guy, bloody, with this thing on his head and strung out on a cross. And like, even as a little kid, I was like, that's really violent. Like, that is horrifically horribly violent. And then to begin to hear the adults talk about Jesus Christ taking one for the team to save us from our own sins. Like, I never could get it to psychologically work. It, even when I was little, it never, ever, ever made sense. So I just kept my mouth shut and kept cruising through and picked the things that were good for me and just kind of left everything else. But the deal is, I'm out there on this ridge with my dog, and there's no one around, just the breeze and the birds and the sage and the flowers and this ancient energy of the land and the volcanoes. And I feel something shift. Like I began to notice something out there that I had never noticed before. Okay. And, I'm a nature girl, mountains and rivers. And like, I've spent so much time outdoors in nature. So, and being sensitive, like I've felt all these nooks and crannies of all these different nature areas, right? So we're out there and I can feel something kind of shift a little bit, and I'm looking around and breathing and just taking all of it in, and all of a sudden I just kind of feel like it's this major, what's this energy coming up from the ground, and it's good. It feels so good. It's like such a feel good energy. And then I'm like, that's got a lot of feminine in it. It's like, oh, that's like really good, feel good, feminine energy coming up from the ground. And not just where I'm standing, but I could see it rising out of the, like close out of the ridge and far out of the ridge, just all around me, this feminine energy rising out of the ground, like power, like real gentle, but powerful, right? Never felt anything like this before. And all the times I've been in nature, never felt this before. And like, not only could I feel it, but I could you could almost kind of see it too. And then I kind of like, and this is all happening somatically, right? I'm not thinking very much. I'm just really feeling it through my body, just totally in that space. And for once, like we stop, and Peanut does not whine. Like usually we stop and she starts whining because she wants to move. She's a beagle healer. She's like, I want to move, Mom. But even she was just like standing there, just kind of taking it all in. And then it just kind of dawned on me. I'm like, this is Gaia. This is Gaia, and this is that beautiful, powerful, feminine, rising energy that's happening on the planet. And there are these toxic patriarchs far away trying to do stuff to still harness and brutalize and terrorize. Like there's still all of that going on, but she's shifting. She's doing something. And there's a lot of us doing that with her, and I really just took that in, and I kind of had to chuckle a little bit about the whole like male-centered thing trying to control everything. And I'm like, it's laughable. It's laughable, especially when you're standing out there feeling all of that and the energy and the beauty and like by the time I was done, I was kind of weak, like my knees had gone a little weak, and I was kind of weeping a little bit because it's just so powerful and beautiful and lifting. And I was like, this is Easter. This is the true, like, feminine rebirth on the planet. And man, if I could have stayed out there forever in that, I would have. I wouldn't ever come back. But things call, and you got to turn around and give the dog some water, and you got to tend to things, so you got to come back. But like that was just so in me. And ever since then, I've been like, women running with wolves, and women howling, and women being powerful, women being the powerful dragon queens that they are. And then I started hearing this chatter on the wire of like, oh, there's this huge feminine rising wave that came through. And I'm like, that was it. I was out there. I was on the ground. High up on a ridge in eastern Washington, looking at all the ancient energy and ancient ground and ancient volcanoes, and spirit was around me. Like, oh, I forgot to mention that whenever I go hike out there, Gotta ask for permission. You know, you do your north, south, east, west, sky above, earth below, sage, spit on the ground, ask permission. Like I was doing all of that. You know, the ancients were coming in and talking to me and telling me where I could go and what they wanted me to do. You know, kind of land walk, ceremonial kind of stuff. I was doing that out there too. And I just, yeah, I wanted to share that with you because right now we are so consumed by all the ugliness and the fear and the hatred, even when we don't want to be. Like there is so much of it around us and being advertised to us. And I just want you to know that she is doing something completely different, and she's doing it very powerfully, and it is right under our feet. If we will only step outdoors and feel that and pick up on that, that is what is going to carry the day, because that is so much more powerful than anything else. I hope you step outside today and take your shoes off and put your feet into the earth and feel her, because she is the one that is going to be guiding us forward and showing us the direction, showing us the way. So that's what I've got for you today. I will see you in my next video.